Hi, my name is skippysimon, and I just talked one of my bosses into paying me 30 bucks an hour. You can too. If you know your fucking worth, fucking do it. My god, I've never felt so vindicated in my freaking life right now. Because, like, we've been talking on the phone for, like, the past few hours. Because, like, he called me up earlier. Normally, like, I haven't had a set schedule with this company in, like, forever. They've underemployed me, if anything. Okay? And I brought so much, pardon me, I brought so much to the table to this company. I invented this system that increased their productivity by 70 fucking percent. 70. And I wasn't being compensated for it. Like, that's the one thing I fucking hate about shit. Like, I invented stuff for the government. Okay? I got a medal. I got some money. But they got all the profits. I invented so many different things for the weed industry to make either labs or any other like production streamline. I've got something in my head, just like I know how to make things flow easier. But I'm always Mr. Path of Least Resistance. But today I put up some resistance because I needed to. This person always calls me when they need me and they don't pay me enough. And like I said, I came up with a process that increased I increased their inventory by 70%. And like no compensation. My brilliant mind gets compensated for nothing. Like at one time I came up with this thing in the laboratory that like I came up with a substitution for buying ice. Using dry ice and denatured alcohol and a metal container. I was able to put that into a bucket of water and make ice for our condenser portion of our what's it called? Our sorry, the cops are coming to get me for talking about this. It's completely illegal. What was the thing they used to do? Fractional distillation unit. That's right, fractional distillation unit. Because you have to fraction off. Fractioning just basically means taking portions off of a certain, something. What you're basically doing is you're using heat and vacuum to remove a certain portion of a solution. In this case, we would use the like back in the old days, we would use, instead of using a rotary evaporator, I'm gonna get technical. Rotary evap, you know exactly what a rotary evaporator is, right? Oh, you don't? Okay. Well, what a rotary evaporator is, it's this big piece of equipment where you dump your denatured crude, okay? Because you have to denature it and everything. You also have to strip out the fats, lipids, and waxes using a Buchner funnel. So you take your... Oh, no, I take it back. I take it back. Hold on. What was I talking about? You take your wet... Sorry. Not denatured. I stand corrected. Not denatured. Your winterized crude. Okay? Winterized. By winterized, we have stripped the fats, lipids, and waxes out of it using cryogenics, aka dry ice, aka a cryogenic freezer, which do not ever think you can stay more than a minute inside a cryogenic. Oh my god, it's cold in there. So you'll die. Yeah, so you take that and you put that in your bulb vessel for your rotary evaporator. You put this brown bunch of liquid in there, and most of it is ethanol. And what you do is you plug that into the system, which is the ball of the container. It's all glass. It's called a rotary evaporator because it rotates and evaporates. Okay. Rotary evaporator. Okay? You submerge your vessel, your tank, your rotary tank, submerge it into a hot water vessel. And that way the alcohol fractions itself off from the winterized crude so that afterwards you can decarboxylate it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So, you know, so in a sense, you know, I came up with this system of coming up with, you know, using dry ice, denatured alcohol, and a metal container to make ice water. And it worked. It saved my boss hundreds of dollars. And this asshole had the audacity to say to everybody that was working there, hey, why don't you tell everybody what we came up with? And I looked at him and I go, we? And he was like, well, yeah, I own the equipment. And I was like, you fucking dick. It's like, I'm Tesla and you're Edison, you fucking cocksucker. That's how I am. I come up with shit, and I get Edisoned every fucking time. Because I'm brilliant, and it sucks. I hate being smart sometimes. I wish I could be a dumb human. But instead, I'm higher evolved, and I'm smart. But anyway. Should I continue to teach you how to make vapor pens by telling you more about a fractional distillation unit? No? Okay. We'll continue that at a later portion. But anyhow. So, I texted the guy I work with. I said, hey, if you can't afford to pay me $30 an hour, then I no longer wish to work with you. And we have been on the phone, on and off on the phone for the past hour. And he, like I said, he's underemployed me. I've come up with systems, a way to make more product for him. And I have not been compensated. So I realized the last time we were, and also he sold me out for cheap rent. He sold me out. And that was, and I told him I can't trust you anymore. And that's the part that really sticking in his back right now. That's the knife that hurts the most. I told him I can't trust, and I can't. I can't. You know, if you want me to get on your sinking ship, no. Because that's what seems to be happening with his company. It seems to be sinking, and I don't want to be a part of it anymore. And I said, you know, like I said, he's saving, I think, thousands of dollars a month on rent by me not working with him. I had full-time employment with him until he sold me out. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm trying to get out of the weed industry right now. Even though it's all I know. But needless to say, I fought for my right to party today. And I said, hey, if you can't pay me $30 an hour, I'm gone. And like I said, it took about an hour for him to come to his senses and realize how much of a fucking asset I am to his business. That's the part that hurts the most. That's the part that hurts the most. That he didn't recognize. He didn't recognize how fucking incredible I am until I threw it in his face and almost I had to take it away. Almost. Like I said, he was paying me $20 an hour. Now it's 30. Why? Because I know my fucking self-worth. And you just need to recognize. That's why I'm happy these younger generations are realizing their self-worth and they don't want to go work these shit jobs. You know? It just, it doesn't make any sense. If they can't buy a house, if they can't do nothing. Somebody's trying to contact me. But anyhow. It felt good. Okay? It felt good to say what I had to say. I don't like being angry. I don't like being frustrated. But even more than that, I don't like being taken advantage of. And I had to let him know that. Like, especially when I told him I lost my job because you took free rent. They made you work with his people. Like, I told him, like, I'm tired of being your sacrificial lamb for profits. But I stood up for myself and it feels fucking good. Yeah, I just needed to get that. I needed to talk about that. That was freaking awesome. Yeah. Yeah, and just, yeah. Stand for something or you fall for anything, I swear to God. Stand for yourself. Feels good. Alright, I'm Skippy Simon. Stay awesome. You stay awesome. Alright, bye.